Welcome to Clixed Off, brought to you by Lucky Dice Cafe out of Huntsville, Alabama. Check them out at LuckyDiceCafe.com. And now for your hosts, Daniel Powell, Jason Alvey, Alex Coons, and Tyler Speeds.
Hey everybody, welcome to Clixed Off today. This is your host Daniel Powell speaking. Just want to let everybody know that Clixed Off is brought to you by TrollandToad.com, the world's largest HeroClix retailer. Find HeroClix new and old on TrollandToad.com. If I didn't say that, did I say that already? Maybe I did. Well, anyways, check out TrollandToad.com. Use coupon code ClixedOff for 5% off your HeroClix order. You know the drill. If you like what you're listening to today here on Clixed Off, patreon.com/ClixedOff. $1 above gets entered into our monthly giveaway. $5 and above gets entered into our Patreon Discord server for HeroClix strategy and tactics discussion. Joining me today is Jason, like the meats, Alvey.
The meats was some good stuff, yeah. That lamb was excellent.
And our special guest today is Jaylen, the Ohio State HeroClix State Championship champion of 2023. Major, what's going on, Jaylen?
Oh man, it's going on great. Thank you for having me.
So congratulations on your win.
Yeah, congrats.
Thank you. I only won because Jason and me didn't play.
Yeah, it's because you ducked me all day. That's what
I
happened.
ducked him all day.
Well, and I told Jaylen as soon as he won, I was like, Jaylen, you've been smack talking a little bit before this event, and I was like, it's a good job. It's a good thing you won, because I had a whole other speech prepared for you if you'd lost. So,
what could have been?
But I don't know. I think we want to talk a little bit about our Origins trip that we got to do, and then the Ohio State Championship. We'll talk a little bit about what we played, how we did, what we would like to see changed, and what we're going to play in next. So, Jason, you and I got to go to Origins for the first time since the pandemic, and your first time since 2016.
Yeah, been a while. And just I want to answer the burning question now. Daniel got me to sleep in the same bed with him, so if everybody wants to know, that's what happened.
Oh my gosh! So I feel like that was a little bit of my fault. I got a little too risky on our Airbnb purchase, right? It was well rated, but it was like really close to the not so savory part of town, like literally the street over. And so, but the problem was, it was fine. It was a good room, but it ended up being dirty. So, given that it was Origins week and there was a big baseball tournament, Jason and I could only find a king bed to sleep in. So we rolled with the punches and found another place to stay. We did get a refund on our dirty Airbnb, but yeah, Jason and I had to sleep in the same bed together. But it was a king bed. It was a bigger bed. It was a bigger bed than we stayed in Moorhead in 2021. So
yeah, we're at Gen Con in 2019.
Oh my god! You know what? Like, Gen Con in 2019 was a great experience. So Jaylen, there was seven of us.
Me, you, David, Jeremy, Zach, Corey, Kyle. And like
David. Did David go?
Yeah, David went.
Well, so it was you and I in a bed, the two CPAPers, Jeremy and Corey, and then there was Zach, Kyle, and David.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was a ton of fun. Now the room was a double room, so there was 2 beds, but the other room was a couch and then the floor. So there was an air mattress. The couch was all full of dudes. But no, we will not be doing that again.
That sounds like good cuddle times with the boys.
It was a great time.
I tell you what, it was
We'll never do it again, probably.
No. It was a good time, but
it was.
No, thank you on the repetition part of that. So
yeah, it was a little small for all of us guys.
Yeah, you got it. So this wasn't nearly as bad. We had a very nice hotel out by the airport, and we managed to get it from there. So, so we did get to spend all day Friday at Origins. Jason, what did you think of Origins since you hadn't been back in so long?
Seemed like it kind of shrunk, to be honest with you.
Yeah,
like,
I mean,
like there wasn't that many vendors in the vendor hall, man. Like there was a lot of room. I tell you, the fact that there was a Chick-fil-A in there was like pretty awesome, and you could buy alcohol and walk around. It was lacking on booths.
It seemed like the gaming area was smaller than before, and then the vendors didn't go all the way back to the end, but to the back wall like they did in years past. But I can tell you what, like the food, you're right. So the food inside of the convention center, you're talking. There was a Chick-fil-A, there was a burrito bowl place. There was beer. Now, I did go up there and talk to the gals serving the beer. You only get 2 beers or 2 drinks per day per ID, and they scan your ID. So, if you want to get hammered at the BR table, you'd have to do some finagling, I guess, with some non-drinking buddies. But yeah, the food inside of the convention center, unfortunately just would blow the Indianapolis Convention Center out of the water, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I'm not looking forward to going to Gen Con for the food inside of the convention center, because the Origins, that one just blows it away for sure.
Oh man, it does. It was just kind of, I guess, I don't know if it's been less attended because of the pandemic or what's going on. I don't know. Like the funniest thing though, was going in there and going to the Troll and Toad booth and listening to Daniel ask them if we could use our coupon code, and they're like, "What's Clixed Off?"
Yeah. So, to be for what it's worth, I mean, Troll and Toad is a fairly decently sized company, right? And our marketing guy was not there. But when I rattled off of my the intro that y'all just heard, the guy was like, "Oh yeah, that's who you guys are," and he didn't give us the discount though, but that's okay. Basically Friday we gambled on boosters most of the day. There were quite a few booths selling boosters, at least 3. I guess including Jay's shop, there was 4 places selling boosters. So we kind of all gambled on buying some boosters, and so it was a good time, albeit smaller than in years past. I took a picture. How much? I just posted it. How much was that thing of magic that I took a picture of?
Oh, I don't know. I didn't see your picture, but there was it was like $20,000.
No, yeah. So there was one that was 60.
Okay.
So it was marked at $60,000. Sorry, you get to save $1. It was $59,999. And I'm like, I don't think if you owned every HeroClix ever made, including all of the masterpieces and including the Black Suit promo Wolverine, I don't think the whole collection of HeroClix is worth $60,000.
No, probably not.
So, I told Jay this, and I'll say that to all these other venue owners out there. Thank you for supporting HeroClix. It is always quite apparent to me that, in general, Magic is more of a money maker for the stores out there. So, thank you for supporting HeroClix, and specifically out to Jay for this weekend. Thank you for supporting HeroClix. So, means a lot to us. So we got to go to North Market, Jason.
Yep,
That was good.
it was good. We had some good brisket.
I had the ribs, and
Then we got some bomb ass waffle cones at Jenny's Ice Cream.
oh my gosh, yeah. So in the parking lot of the North Market, they're building a skyscraper, or like a not a skyscraper, but condos and hotel and stuff. And I'm like, there's no way that we could live in that condo, being that close to the North Market. You would just be,
no.
You would just be like 500 pounds, like going down there to the North Market and eating every day, and probably broke.
Yeah, for sure.
Sure. Those North Market prices are up there.
Yeah, that shit wasn't cheap for sure.
You pay for it, and then you're like, man, this was worth the money. It's so good.
Yes, much like the steakhouse we went to.
Yeah, so skipping everything else in the middle, Jaylen, you got to go to the Brazilian steakhouse for the first time.
In my own city.
In your own city, yeah. What did you think?
Oh man, I had missed out. I didn't know how long that's been there. I had heard you guys come in and you went there before, and I was like, oh, I've never heard of it. Then I go and I'm like, oh my gosh, the lamb is so good.
Oh man, so it was.
My goodness, I didn't know meat could taste so good.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's true.
it was excellent stuff. Everything I had there was good.
And I mean, it was a lot cheaper than what I thought it would be. A place like that, you would think like, wow, I don't think I'm in the wrong place here. But no, that was reasonably. I think it's reasonably priced. Ooh, I can't speak. For just, I mean, honestly, it was underpriced for how well that place is put together. Just the way it looks.
Yeah, and considering how much food you could actually eat while you're sitting there, right?
Mm-hmm. For sure. Yeah, I mean, I think the big thing was, I think the big thing to think about is now the Brazilian steakhouse Fogo in Indianapolis is a bit more expensive, but their meat and salad bar they're both a little bit better. So that's something to keep in mind if you want to go there when you were there for Gen Con.
Gotcha. Okay.
But we are going Saturday night with a pretty big group of folks. So looking forward to that.
Will Sam be going to Gen Con?
Yeah, Sam's going to Gen Con. So she knows to put on her competitive face. I don't know what kind of. Did you say she's Jaylen? You say she has some kind of face.
Oh, she's got that. No, she's got that mom face. That don't mess with me face.
Gotcha.
Don't talk to me a certain way. She's got that face, and I love it.
Yeah, so I'll make sure that she's practicing that between now and Gen Con just for you.
Sweet.
Well, enough food talk, meat talk. do we want to go worst to best? Is that okay with y'all? Talk about our days.
That is fine with me.
I mean, so Jason, I mean, not to spoiler alert everybody here, but you want to talk about what you played on Saturday, how you did, and so let's do it this way. Let's talk about what we played, how we did, just some highlights of some of your games, and then once we all talk about that, we'll talk about what will change on our teams on the next time we play.
Okay, sure. Okay, so I guess what I played 2 Carnage Surfers. One had a Darkhold, one was unequipped. I had the MOE chases. I started with Dark Phoenix. I had Black Skull, Killmonger, Iron Inquisitor, Ghost Goblin on the sideline. I had Mephisto. I had a Sicarian Iron Man with a cloak. I had the Magneto on the team. And I had Hulk with a surfboard, Prime Hulk with a surfboard. Rest of my sideline consisted of Scrappy Doo and the new rare War Machine. And a list of tarot cards, including the star. I got 7th place. The first game, I just totally lost all train of thought on how to play or talk because I couldn't remember how to do shit for a while there. But I won. I won that game. I was playing against World's Finest, Wonder Woman, and some MOE chases there, and a Mephisto. I got like 200 points to that build. Round 2, I got to play Dan. It wound up being a lot closer than the score really showed, but the plasticity card came up, and I grouped all my figures up together after a free move. Then he happened to flip the Side Blast card and just splash damaged me to death. Game 3, I just missed a bunch of attacks, and time ran out on me before I got to make the last attack, which could have won me the game. Against the Legacy Thanos barrier team of all things. And last game, I played Carnage Surfer against Carnage Surfer, Apocalypse, King Killmonger, Genesis. I wiped that team. I just needed more practice all around. I hadn't got to play that team before we went to the tournament and actually sat down and ran women's practice. So I like the team. I did pretty good overall. I just need to learn it better.
Yeah, if we had one more player at the event, you would have made top 8.
Yeah, I mean that would have been pretty helpful. And if I had got one more attack roll that actually hit in the third game, I probably would have made top 4 anyway. But
right.
It is what it is. I guess as far as what I'm changing, I'm dropping a couple tarot cards. I think I'm going to lose. I had let's see, the 10 of Pentacles, which is the hypersonic card, and I had the 5 of Swords, which is the super strength card. I'm going to get rid of those and get the plasticity and the Side Blast card in its place. Otherwise, I think I'm going to change it. I'm going to drop the Daily Bugle and go with Wakanda as a map. And otherwise, I'm sticking with what I got.
Gotcha. Yeah, no, makes sense. So I played, and I just realized I didn't take a picture of it, so I got to go to HC Units. So let me load that up real quick. Scarlet Surfin'. So I played Scarlet Witch with her Free Darkhold, Carnage Surfer unequipped, Sicarian Iron Man with the Cloak of Levitation, Venom Magneto with the Darkhold equipped, Mad Jim Jaspers, Molecule Man, Carnage. The sideline included the Angler, All Black, Soul Sword, Emotional Modifier, War Machine, Blue Lantern Ring. And then my maps were Wakanda, Negative Zone, and the Hell's Crossroads. I played the 8 of Cups, 7 of Pentacles, 7 of Swords, Ace of Wands, the Star. And so round 1, I played against one of our fabulous patrons, Peter Marshfield, who was playing his kind of backup team because he didn't get a team-up card in that he wanted. So he was playing Scarlet Witch, kind of almost identical to what you played against, Jason, except he had a little bit, I guess, he had some different stuff. But I mean, he had World's Finest, Death Metal Wonder Woman, Venom Mags.
Mad Jim, I think.
No, I don't think he had Mad Jim.
You know.
Maybe. Yes, he had Mad Jim, and Scarlet Witch. So I wanted.
Yeah, it was pretty similar to my original build I started out with a while back.
I went. I won initiative, I think. Anyways, I ended up on the map where I chose, and I went second. He passed. I jumped over and turn 1 ruined him with a 21 defense. And he moved around out of the rune a little bit. But I ended up 1 turning his World's Finest. So Saki Iron Man shot him. And he rolled a 1 on the lower point rollout situation, and then Surfer came over, shot him again. After Wonder Woman revived him, he rolled another 1. The Star was not up at the time, and so I got World's Finest down turn 1 or turn 2, I guess. My turn 2, and then during all of that with Surfer, I splash damaged. The Psyblast card was up because I splash damaged his Commissioner to KO. Because I dual targeted it? Yes, no. I dual targeted something else next to it. So the second splash damage from Surfer hit it. And then he split out into Chase Batman, and then I hit Chase Batman with Surfer's second attack and splash damaged. No, I just had I had the 1 damage because Surfer had 4 damage. So Saki splash damaged Commissioner for 1, Surfer tagged him for 1, and then Surfer splash damaged Commissioner for a 3rd one. So it was 25 points. Just because the Psyblast card was flipped at the time. So, that was pretty wild in that game 1. Game 2, I played Jason. The Psyblast card also came up at a good time. But, Jason, what was it that I got? I scored... I scored Venom... I scored Venom Mags.
And Mephisto from the Psyblast card.
That's
the Psyblast
right.
splash damage killed them both. Because I just had the plasticity card that came right before that, and I decided I was going to move them all up to go after your pieces at the top of the map, and then you happened to flip the Psyblast card when I was sitting there all adjacent to each other.
Yeah.
And that's what killed those 2. Yeah. And then you killed Hulk, like.
I killed your Dark Phoenix first.
No, I switched to Killmonger.
That's right. Yeah. You moved
Killmonger.
Yeah, you moved Dark Phoenix out. I used my unequipped Surfer to KO the Killmonger, and then I KO'd your Hulk, and then I splash damaged the rest of your folks. I think the big thing to note at this point is, and except for my 4th game against TJ, I didn't equip my Surfer at all. And I assume that would not be a thing going forward, or always happening, but it was definitely not like I did in practice. I didn't have the time.
He doesn't need anything necessarily.
No, he doesn't, but I just had to go. Like, all my actions had to be committed to going.
Yeah, like I didn't play fast enough. I didn't get enough turns in, like or something. Like you got to play fast. Like
I mean, yeah, I think that's a good point to bring up. And Jaylen, you feel free to just butt in at any point here. My team this weekend, we calculated up. It had between 13 and 20 free actions to take. And like I paused there for dramatic effect. Womp womp womp.
That's a lot of reactions.
Yeah, it is. And so it was a ton of decisions to make. And nearly all the other teams I played against had similar amounts of free actions to take. And it was pretty wild. So just
It's a good thing no one was playing Merlin.
right. I think we all would have been, if somebody had played Merlin, they may have won.
They might have won.
Because we'll talk about your team next.
yeah,
But
I mean,
like,
I don't have 13 or I don't have 13 free actions, but I mean,
you have a lot.
I I've got what? Yes, shifting is. I mean, the MOE shifting is free.
So hang on. Your Saki takes
Saki?
4. Saki takes 4.
Sidestep.
Sidestep, perplex, outwit,
Flex, outwit.
and then flurry or energy explosion or mind control, something like that, right?
If he picks that, yeah.
We're just on Saki's probably most effective charge flurry, and then
yeah, the dark hold.
Right, so picking the dark hold in perplex, right? If you want us to switch or outwit, that can be up to 3, because you perplex, or if you're on perplex, right? You perplex, you switch to outwit, and then you outwit. That's a pretty common thing to do. So now we're up to 8 on your team. Shifting is 1. If you did you have any of the ones that you could shift into poison?
Well, yeah, Ghost Goblin you can shift into poison with him. Well, and Mephisto just has poison.
Okay, so that's 9 and 10.
If you're not using all those in a turn all the time, like
I think I did on my end.
I'm not doing that though.
Right,
like
and
then you're perplex.
So that's 11, and then Venomax has his free TK. That's 12.
Yeah. That's probably, but yeah. I don't think I'm using all those in a turn. But yeah, you're getting close. Like, thankfully, we realized like Carnage Surfer is not a free on a second attack. So
yeah, that's nice.
Yeah, that's nice. It'd be hard if you were limited to like 4 free actions. I'm not,
Right. Yeah.
It's gonna be tough. That's some tough choices.
Right.
To make.
Yeah, you definitely have to. I mean, Merlin definitely becomes a big target in that case.
Yeah, you got to murder him fast. Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't know. That's an interesting one. Is Merlin the super secret play? Don't know.
I don't know.
So I was just looking.
Okay.
Merlin, he's 3 clicks too. So he can't be one shot by a surfer, so that's good. So that's a plus.
He got like what's his defense like?
Invincible. Yeah.
Yeah.
Merlin would just be a lot better if he affected your opponent instead of both teams.
Instead of you as well. It kind of hurts your own team too.
Right.
That's probably why he hasn't seen as much play as he could have otherwise.
Yeah, it's just very hard because he's got the action total +1. So I mean, you can build your team to take 5 free actions, but I mean,
that limits yourself. Like,
I mean, my team had 4 perplexes available to it. So, like, I mean, that's a pretty standard situation to have that many perplexes.
And then the tarot cards, right? The plasticity cards free, right? The free action.
Well, yeah. So that's what took me to almost up to 20 was the plasticity card turn. I could definitely take 20 free actions.
Yeah, that's just insane.
So, then round 3, So I streamed all my games on the Clixed Off YouTube channel if y'all want to check any of those out. But played against Rob Gallagher, who was playing in a team that sounds like it should be more expensive than Jason's, but it wasn't. And I also forgot I was playing 2x2 Carnage on my team. But Rob was playing 3 Dark Phoenixes, Mephisto, 2 Grand Prize Genesis, and 1 Grand Prize APOC. And the big thing Rob's team did was it could turn 1 Absorbing Man. Now, why he
Prime
did not,
Absorbing Man.
Prime Absorbing Man, that's right. So Rob did not do that on the stream, but there is folks he did do it to. So I don't know, Rob. I don't know why you didn't do it to me on stream where everybody could see it, but very interesting team. But thankfully, one of my surfers was unequipped. Surfer took out an MOE chase. Saki took out another. And that really got the pacing in my favor. And the grand prize figures don't like to be shot from range by a figure that's not equipped. So,
Yeah, they do not.
Carnage Surfer started taking down grand prize figures. So,
Who'd have thought not being equipped would have been so handy?
yeah, I think it's almost a requirement at this point.
Yeah, you got to have some options that are not, like with Killmonger and those prizes out there.
Yeah. So I'll hurry up here through the rest of mine. Round 4, the most interesting thing happened. I played TJ. I lost, but it was on last action. The star was up, and I essentially crit missed. I needed a 5, and I rolled 2 2s, which is a 1 in 36% chance that I was going to roll that, because any other roll in HeroClix would have been a successful 5. So that didn't feel too great, but I still made top 4. And then I lost to George. Learning something really great there, that even when your character's in the rune, you still need to outwit Venom Mag's TK. So he can't move out of the room, then TK somebody out of the rune. So Venom Mag's still really good. Like, I don't know, probably the best TK piece ever made ever. So yeah, that ended up costing me that game, was not double outwitting the TK. I think I had a line to be able to do it, but I didn't do it. So that was on me. But hindsight's 20/20, and that's why we play these games, right, in preparation for the big events, for nationals, for worlds. At least that's what I'm taking it for. So I walked away with some good prizing. So I think the big thing for me was PJ had my MOE chases and wasn't able to make it Saturday. Sad face. So the big change to my team, I think, is I'm going to be incorporating MOE chases in somehow. And I think from here on out, when I say MOE chases, they cost 80 points. Right, Jason?
Yes, 80 points.
Yep, 80 points. Because
Mephisto is like, wow. Like,
yeah.
The synergy between them is insane. Yeah. Absolutely insane.
Yeah, he's a pacing machine. So,
like, yeah, it's just perpetually like removing tokens.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Healing if need be.
Yeah, if possible. Like, I don't think I healed all that much. Like, I just didn't have things I could heal, necessarily. But yeah, the token removal is just unreal.
Yeah. I mean, you're talking about having a figure on your team, assuming like you're not like down to just the last couple of figures. something on your team will be able to take a power action. Oh, guaranteed. I guess there's a few things that might stop it in the game, right? But by and large, with Mephisto and MOE, your team will be able to take an action.
Yeah, it's like you just can't stop it, really. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, so many times I had double token pieces that I just took a token off and used them again for something else. Like,
Right. So that was my day. That's what I'm going to be changing. This episode won't come out. This is on Wednesdays. I just released Sam's episode, so this will probably come out on Friday. But I have committed to playing a little bit of Pulp locally, so that's on my list. So I might miss a Brad event or two, probably just at least the one. So I'll be streaming my new iteration of the team here soon. So, all right, Jaylen, tell us about what you did, how you did, champ.
So I played MOE X-Men with so I had 2 Dark Phoenixes starting on the board. I had the Prize Genesis and Prize Apocalypse. I had the Professor X who said swap out X-Men. I had Prime Hulk. Only one Prime for everybody wondering. I only had one. Just Hulk. I had the Mephisto, and I had a Sky Tyrant, and I only had one equip, and that was the All Black Necro Sword. My sideline was King Killmonger, Iron Inquisitor for Master of Evil swap-ins. I had Jubilee, Venom Magneto, the Stepford Cuckoo or Cuckoo, however you say her name, and Peepers. I gotta say one thing, Peepers MVP. Peepers is so good, underrated. If you're playing Tyrant, Peepers huge. I had a list of tarot cards, 2 major arcanas, and then one of each of the swords, pentacles, cups, and wands, with 3 terrain markers, 3 blocking terrain markers for Hulk. Because I had no barrier pieces. First game, I played. I know for one thing, I played a Scarlet Witch in every single Swiss round. So I know he had Scarlet Witch on his team. Sakari and Iron Man, and a bunch of other just heavy hitter low pieces, like low point cost. That game was tough. Scarlet, he was able to turn 1 ruin me. I was able to get out of it because it didn't outwit Venom Magneto's free TK, and I was able to wipe almost everything except for Scarlet Witch and Sakari and Iron Man. So I walked away from that one barely. If you outwitted my TK, that would have been very, very tough. Second game I played. That's dad.
That's a like. Hold on, I'm sorry. You played the Cunningham son.
Yes, I played Cunningham's son, and then
Dylan. Yeah.
Dylan.
So, yeah, if you're gonna go play the rune, make sure you have a line of fire on Venom Mags to outwit his TK.
Then I played his dad, and his dad plays Sky Tyrant a lot. So I won the initiative. I chose map, so I chose to go second. He passes his first turn, just picks up Saki objects, and for some reason, I thought he was going to go after Jubilee. So I had like King Killmonger and Iron Inquisitor adjacent to Jubilee, not even realizing that my Sky Tyrant and Peeper are just out in the open. So he was like, I'm just going to go TK here, pick Hypersonic, and shoot your Sky Tyrant and get him off the board. And I was like, oh, okay. Yeah, that's fair. So that was a little hard fought. I was able to get rid of his Sakarian Iron Man immediately after he killed my Sky Tyrant, and I was able to just hard fight rollouts with the King Killmonger, and just a lot of senses and shape change. That one was very, very hard fought. Could have went either way. Then the star card popped up, and I was able to walk away with it. He also had Prime Spider-Man, who is, in my opinion, a top 5 piece in Modern. Then I played, I want to say, TJ the third game. Yes, I played TJ the third game. He was my loss in Swiss, playing a variation of Dan's team. Their teams are different.
Yeah, we had one piece of terrain different, but
Yep,
yeah,
it's different. He was able to ruin almost my entire team, and it was still hard fought. 1 second.
So, while Jaylen takes another call there for a moment, be sure to check out show sponsor Auxxit. Auxxit is a place to buy, sell HeroClix auction site. Check out the HeroClix Cafe. Lucky Dice Cafe runs a release day auction in there every new set release, and they have weekly auctions for all kinds of good HeroClix deals. Check out the HeroClix Cafe by Auxxit. Link to join in bio.
Okay. Apologies. Where was we at? I said that.
TJ's matchup.
TJ's matchup, right? He ruined almost my entire team. And then he KO'd my Jubilee and had my Tyrant in a rune, which was pretty tough. Tyrant does not like a rune at all. But he did not have a TK on Venomag, or a Outwit on Venomags, so I was able to still TK. But he was still able to sustain me being able to get out of the rune and attacking things, and took it from me. Then fourth game, I played Peter Marshfield is his name, I believe.
Yeah.
He was the only person to not rune me immediately. He decided a defensive rune, which was pretty smart. Because he just saw, he was like, "Oh, I know what you're gonna do. You're gonna do this." So he defensive runed, but the only problem with that is that I just didn't move up very much. I just moved up like maybe 5 squares. So then he was like, "Oh, so you're just gonna go around my rune." So then he decided it's time to go on attack. He attacked me, hurt Jubilee. I think he KO'd him. I think he KO'd Mephisto. Because I didn't hit either of his 3 rollouts. Sorry, 2, and then the King Killmonger rollout didn't go, so he KO'd him 1 time. And then Tyrant was able to KO 4 pieces with his flurry and 2 attacks from Dark Phoenix. Because he is a brute. And then that one was pretty much over at that point. We were still fighting, because he was able to get rid of Sky Tyrant with his 4 tokens, as he just put everything into him. Scrappy actually put in the final touch. He picked up an anchor and smacked him over the head with it.
Nice. Which, by the way, Scrappy has super strength.
He has super strength.
Yeah,
I did not know that.
Yeah, I realized that too on Saturday. It's Don't underestimate him.
Don't forget.
He straight up smacked me for 4. I was like, "Oh man, Tyrant, you're about to get worked by a little dog." But okay, he got worked. But I was still able to just KO his Scrappy and his. I believe, did he have Sakarian Iron Man? I think he had Sakarian Iron Man.
Yeah, he did. Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah. And then that was the rest of that one. Top cut first game I played against TJ again, and instead of just moving out, I just got rid of all of his objects and just all the terrain. I decided that I'm just going to get rid of every terrain that's on the map and just hurt my own Hulk, which I was okay with. Oh, wait, no. He molecule manned my blocking terrain. So I was like, well, I'm just going to get rid of your terrain. So we played the get rid of terrain game. So he wasn't able to just angle and ruin me. And then I did have a very clutch star pop up, and I was able to KO his big Carnage in the back, his Venom Magneto, and I believe I did not KO his Magic immediately. I believe in the Carnage Surfer, I believe I was able to KO. Which was huge, because Carnage Surfer, if you don't leave him alone, or if you don't go after him immediately, they will tear up your team. And that's just the way that Carnage Surfer rolls.
Oh, yeah.
I've had too much experience with that, and I have PTSD every time I look at him. So that one was, I learned my mistakes against TJ, and played better against TJ. They would walk away with that one. And then the final game I played against George. The first time I ever lost map in that tournament, he decided to still go on a big map instead of a small map, which he was playing a Carnage Surfer, Saki, Nimrod Prime, who in my opinion is also underrated. He also had the Deep Cuts Invisible Woman, Molecule Man, Venom Magneto, just a bunch of just great figures. First turn, I just moved out Hulk and blew up a piece of my blocking pieces and healed up. I did roll big on that. I think I healed 3, and then just stayed in my starting area. He barriered up, but left 2 squares in the very back. But then on my turn, the star popped up.
Yeah, it did. Yeah, it did. Yeah, it did. You heard it.
Yeah, star popped up. I said, well, I can't not go now. So then I have just full mapped with Sky Tyrant, with carrying Peepers, with a Dark Phoenix move to go down and flurry. I've targeted his Sakari Iron Man and Carnage Surfer, and rolled a 6 and a 1, which is a crit hit with the star. And I decided to give all 5 to Carnage Surfer, which puts him on his last click or its regen, and deal knockback to just KO him. And then my my second flurry or second attack, was it back to back?
Yeah. So you rolled the 6 and the 1, and then your second attack of your flurry you critically missed.
Yeah, I rolled 2 1s, which was another crit hit, which KO'd his Venom Magneto, and I put the rest to Sakari and Iron Man, so he just took off a object, which I think it was a total of 5 I was dealing to Sakari and Iron Man. And yeah, he was like, I'm just going to take the object off. And then did his moving. I just moved into the middle of his team with Tyrant's move, carrying Peeper. And then Dark Phoenix did another move. Or the second Dark Phoenix did a move to then make Tyrant make another attack. Then Tyrant targeted Invisible Woman and what's his face? Molecule Man. And I rolled doubles. I think it was 2 3s, which is the exact number that I needed was a 6. So I dealt each one of them 2 and then knockback. So I only had 1 res token at the end of the day, or at the end of that turn, but Tyrant KO'd 4 pieces.
Mm-hmm.
And and then Tyron was able to still move away because a lot of people asked. They thought that it was his charge that lets him move away. It's just when he hits, he gets to move away, ignoring characters. And then he clapped back. He KO'd my Tyrant and my Peeper in that turn.
No, it was just your Tyrant because he shot it with something to turn him once, and then he pulse waved him with Nimrod.
Wait, he punched me with Saki.
Yeah, that sounds right. Yeah.
He hypersonic picked up an object to turn him, and then pulse wave me. So he clapped back, killed my Tyrant, and I pretty much that next turn I moved my entire team up. I put Hulk up there to let Hulk do 2 attacks with the Dark Phoenixes, attacking Saki. I believe both of them missed, so I didn't take off a token there. And then he hit 1 attack on Hulk to put him to his second to last stop click, and then he missed the rest of the time on Hulk, so Hulk lived. And then I decided to move my entire team up, with the Mephisto taking tokens off, and then willpowers, and then leaderships. So I moved everybody up, and also missed with the Dark Phoenixes. I believe I hit 1 because I believe I took a token off of Saki, so he's only had 1 object. Then I pretty much just had my entire team grouped up with Inquisitor and Killmonger. And then George missed a huge pulse wave to get rid of, because it was the Nimrod line where he does 2 to each target, I believe, if he targets more than 1.
Yeah, that's right. So he was set to KO like 3 of your figures, I think.
It was Hulk, the Cuckoo, and I think it was to KO. It was KO those 2, and then put Genesis on her last click off of the Precision Strike.
Yeah, sounds about right.
It was Magneto.
Yeah, it was Venom, Magneto. It was 3 of your 2-click figures.
Yep. I believe he needed a 5, and he had 2 probs, and he missed it. Then I pretty much just had Genesis go and KO Nimrod, or she KO'd. I think I KO'd Sakaar and Iron Man first, and then Nimrod, because Sakaar and Iron Man also just win.
I don't think you ever KO'd Iron Man. I think you KO'd Nimrod, and then you went after the High Evolutionary and the Ant-Man.
Okay, that sounds right.
Yeah, I think you kind of beat up on Saki through here.
That sounds about right.
Yeah, you kept beating him up, but he kept getting like more objects and stuff. Mm-hmm. Yeah. But yeah, I think Saki was the last thing that you KO'd, if I'm not mistaken.
That sounds about correct. Yeah, that sounds correct. Which Genesis did put in work. Charge Flurry Piece with 2 perplexes is just good.
Yeah.
She's just nice.
What sword did you have on Genesis?
She did not have a sword. Neither of my sword bearers had swords.
Really? Just didn't have the points, huh?
Just didn't have the points. Also did not have a cloak on Hulk. He was just regular Hulk.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it was either those 3 or the Necro Sword, and in my opinion, I feel like Necro Sword was just better than those 3 objects.
Yeah. No, I mean, just going through the shape change and super sense is a big deal. I mean, I think that's the right call. But still, that's interesting. No sword bearer.
Yep, no sword bearer.
So the question is, now that you've won, what are you thinking about changing?
See, that is a good question.
Or anything. I mean, the answer might be nothing.
I thought about changing the sideline, if anything, like taking Jubilee off and putting on like Deadpool, just because. I mean, honestly, I got lucky that I didn't play against any Scarabs. If there wasn't a Scarab there.
Crampton played a Scarab, but he didn't do so great.
Oh, then actually, and I think Trent also played a Scarab,
Mm-hmm.
and that would have been interesting because.
Nah, Trent didn't have a Scarab.
He didn't.
No.
Okay, so he didn't have Scarab. So just Crampton. I mean, yeah. Scarab just outwitting Tyrant's charge or his movement power is very detrimental. So Jubilee is good. She's real good, but I feel like Deadpool might just be better on the sideline. If I was to change anything, it'd probably be Deadpool, and maybe try and see if I can fit on a sword bearer or a cloak.
Mm-hmm.
But it's so tight on points that I don't know if I can do that, because that means dropping a Necro Sword.
Right.
Or just dropping Hulk. And Hulk is not the main priority against most people because you see a Tyrant.
Yeah.
Tyrant is everybody's first priority.
Yeah.
For good reason.
Well, and I think so. It is, and I think one of the interesting things that we've run into so far with states is that Scarab hasn't won.
Yes.
But yet we're calling out his badness. So the big interaction, I think, even more that's more detrimental, is what's that? What's the knockback object?
Shot gauntlet.
The shot gauntlets, right? So is even more important. Outwitting your charge is not the play. So Scarab with the shot gauntlets, he just attacks your Sky Tyrant and knocks him into the wall.
Okay.
So, or he just power action force blasts him into the wall.
Yeah, that's fair.
So, and then he's just on his regular charge, and you just don't worry about him. I mean, you probably do have to worry about him, like if you're on a short map, maybe. But he doesn't have flurry, and he's just a pretty standard piece if he doesn't have his super movement power.
Yeah, and even if he does go up there, he's stuck because he doesn't have a super movement power.
Right. So,
that's fair.
Yeah. So he probably just shoots him for one. Like, even without the shot gauntlets, right? Like, Scarab probably just tags him for one and moves on with his day. So, like, Hulk is pretty important for you to keep on your build in that instance, right? But it's like, there's so many different things. Like, you know, Scarab has done a bunch of winning in bronze lately, with mostly modern pieces. And, like, I think a lot of people are just... So we just had the first 2 weekends of states. Those Scarabs have won. We still have a few big states left to go. And, you know, I guess if we don't see any Scarabs, that probably means, unfortunately, like, he doesn't get fixed before Nats or Worlds. I think it was a slim chance that he would ever have anything done to him before Nats or Worlds. But, you know...
People just don't want to play him. They just don't want to play him.
I don't guess. That's probably the thing. Now, like, on the other hand, right, like, I'm pretty ready to see Sky Tyrant go too, but I guess, like, at the end of the day, Tyrant is up there attacking and doing stuff, making dice rolls and stuff. Like, Scarab is just, he's not interactive, right? So,
not at all.
Right.
But, I mean, I guess, Jason, and that point, right, to that point is, I guess I need to be playing Scarab, right?
Right, we probably should just both be doing that, right?
Right. Well, you were, was it in person or was it on the last show that you were talking about how I go to the next thing that involves not interacting or not allowing my opponent to do stuff.
Yeah, so that seems perfect for you.
Yeah, I guess I need to bust the old Scarab out of the box and put some shot gauntlets on the team.
Now, I'm not going to lie to you. I almost was forced to play my Worlds team because Mephisto, we had bought a Mephisto, and he came in the Friday night, the night before. Like, it wasn't during the day. He came in at night, like around like 7:30, 8, and I was like, well, I'm gonna pack my Worlds team up just in case.
Your Worlds team? What's your Worlds team?
That was the last year's Worlds team.
Oh.
The Legacy APOC, Scarab, then a Magneto, Annihilation, Mad Jim.
Gotcha.
I almost played that. I had it all packed up ready, and then I opened the box, and there he is. I was like, oh man, because I could have been bad. Because Mephisto is huge on MOE. It's just huge.
Yeah.
I was like, there's almost no reason for me to play the team without Mephisto.
I think it's now. I think your version of the team could manage without it.
Yeah, it could.
Because you have some really good leaderships and that sort of thing. Now, it's obviously better with it, but I think like the X-Men version's one of the few versions that could survive without Mephisto. But it's obviously much better with. Now, I gotta add, on your swaps, Jaylen, did you cheat in the 30 points?
Cheat in the 30 points?
Yeah, did you swap Mephisto out?
I did swap Mephisto out, and then I would wait to bring him in.
So you didn't just instantly bring him back?
No, I waited. I mostly waited. I would wait until like I was mid-map to then bring Mephisto in.
Okay.
Or if somebody had a Destroyer or Scrappy, I always waited until they brought in Scrappy. So he's just there being annoying in the way. But yeah, if they didn't have it, then I would bring him in. I never brought him in like when I swapped out my X-Men pieces and brought him in. I never did that.
Right, but you were definitely always swapping out Mephisto as a part of your math.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I think that's what so if you brought him back at a different time, that's fine. But yeah, you were always using Mephisto as a part of your swap math, I think is the big thing.
Yes, I was always doing that.
Right. Yeah, that makes sense. But yeah, I don't know. Wonder Woman 80 for such a revolutionary set. I think we're all kind of ready to see it go.
Yeah, here it is back at the top again, right at the end.
Yeah. It's amazing that a 2-year-old set, an over 2-year-old set, still has pieces that are plenty of viable. But then again, on the other hand, right? So like, golly, Modern's really big right now. Shoot fire. I mean, things from Fantastic Four are viable. Things from FFFFF are viable. Wow. It's intense.
I mean, changing the retirement to Afterworld makes such a difference this year.
Mm-hmm.
All that stuff could have been gone.
Well, you know what's funny is that Jaylen would have gotten his chance to run it this past weekend.
Right.
So, so I'm just looking at the calendar real quick. Golly, hold on. Let me look over here. Calendar. Yeah. The States events, if there are, and I think there is a couple this weekend. July 1st would have been our new look at New Modern, July 1st. So I really think the cutoff would have been with X-Men Rise and Fall being the oldest set in Modern. But now that's all kind of up in the air. But yeah, I think normal retirement, July 1st would have been normal retirement, Fantastic Four, Superior Foes, House of X, FFFFF, and Wonder Woman 80 would have went. But yeah, Worlds is going to be intense with that many sets in Modern. Do we get the DC set out before then?
We don't know. Maybe not.
August, I believe.
It says September in the solicit now.
Oh, does it?
Yeah, which I think is the worst possible option. Because that means we might run into assuming WizKids doesn't do anything different, which they might, but if they don't say, let's say it comes out September 1st, and then like a week later it's legal the week of Worlds. If it comes out, what is the date of Worlds? Is it the
15th, 16th, 17th?
It's not 7, 8, 9, is it?
No. It's the week after that.
Yeah, so if it comes out September 6th, which would be in line with a September release, it would be legal the week of Worlds.
They made it say it's not legal like they did with like Extra Swords OP.
I mean, they could. Because there was
I think that's the smart thing.
I think so too. But there's no guarantee of that, right?
No, not at all.
So, yeah, I don't want to. I mean, I'll be fine with it. I mean, I'll do what I have to do, but I don't want a big rush to get all pieces for Worlds.
Yeah.
So, let's see here. Let's answer some questions. So Peter, we did talk about what we would change to our team and some surprises. Alec Mooser asks, just to all of us here, is King Killmonger a staple even when not on MOE teams? Yeah,
probably.
Yeah, I think King Killmonger and Inquisitor are absolutely a must when using MOE swap. And if you have the word Brute on your team, Dark Phoenix is right there. What did you mainly switch between those three, Jaylen? Did you ever use anything other than those three?
Between Dark Phoenix, Inquisitor, and King Killmonger.
Did you even have a fourth option?
I did not, no.
Okay.
The other four was the X-Men swaps.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I think whether or not you use Doom, Black Skull, or Ghost Goblin as your fourth one on the team, that's kind of personal preference with what's your goal for your team. But yeah, King Killmonger, and I guess in general, like maybe this, I don't know quite how he's asking that question. But I think this is going to be a wild one. You guys tell me your thoughts. Would King Killmonger be viable just by himself?
With all the equipment out there, why not?
Yeah, I would say so.
Yeah.
Now, just him by himself, no swaps.
No swaps, no Mephisto.
No swaps.
No swaps,
I mean,
and no Mephisto.
I would say so because not only like his equipment, like if he gets hit, he becomes an attacker.
Yeah, and he's not bad. He's not bad up top either.
Yeah, he's not bad up top at all. And like willpower, he's not bad.
His mere existence is making people not equip their figures.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's warping the way you build your team just by the fact that he's there.
Right.
Like,
yeah, I mean, and like his team up is Masters of Evil in Wakanda. And it's just a Blades Call Fangs one, so that I could go.
Yeah.
I could go either way on that.
Team up's not really.
Oh, he has traded willpower. That's cool. I haven't got to play with mine yet. Remember? So I just played against it, and just shot it with things that weren't equipped. What's Blades Call Fangs, Precision Strike, Steel Energy, Giant Reach 2, Charge, Running Shot, Sidestep. Man, that is a super duper mobile piece, isn't it? When he gets hit a skosh.
And like he goes to outwit. Like he's a very viable piece just by himself.
Yeah. I think if like the only MOE chase you have in your possession is King Killmonger, there is no issue just playing him on a team with just himself.
Mm-hmm.
So
I agree.
Well, thank you for your question, Alex. James Silva, good luck at your Rock State tournament. Jack Smith, we addressed the number of primes on Jaylen's team already.
Of course it was Jack.
Papa Major throwing out some shade to Jaylen tonight. So Paul says, and so we want to talk about your Hulk a little bit, Jaylen. He said he noticed no cloak of levitation on Hulk. How hard was it to heal him up without it?
It honestly was not that bad. It just doesn't go as fast as you think, or as obviously as you know, because there's no cloak. But he's not the main focus anymore, since he doesn't have a cloak. So you're like, oh, he's going to take a little bit to get up. I mean, he just needs one good roll, and he's viable. If you roll 3 to 6, he's viable with charge and having the brute keyword. So it wasn't that hard.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't have a cloak on mine either. Like, I had a surfboard, which but I still had mine to top click in a game.
Yeah, I got mine to top click too, in a game.
Like, he's like you said, he's not necessarily the main focus, but he's still a threat.
He is a threat, especially when you have Queen of Wands and High Priestess. You can heal him up a decent amount.
Yeah. If you just don't, as long as you just don't roll ones all the time. I mean, I think he's gonna get up there. Even just mid dial, he's hitting for like 4 damage. Like,
4 was super strength, so 5.
Yeah, 5. Yeah. Or maybe more, like, or maybe he's hitting you with an object, and then hitting for 6 or something, and like knocking you back for a 7th one. Like,
yeah, he really just needs to get to his charge clicks, and he's very viable.
Yeah, exactly. And I guess something else I didn't take advantage of with him, like I should have, is like using the Masters of Evil team ability to knock down those defenses for him to come up and hit people with. Yeah, I didn't use that to my full advantage this weekend.
And that Avengers trait, got to use that Avengers trait.
Yeah, and the Avengers TA, yeah.
So he's minimum a 13 when he's at his charge clicks.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think there's a more efficient piece that you can come up with than him for 10 points.
I would agree.
So we did have a late question coming in, which was Lucas smack talking everybody for no reason. So Peter had a question. If each of you had to make a top 4 figures without repeating between each of you, what would you say are the staple figures that you need to have a plan for in the meta? Scarab, King Killmonger. Okay, you guys can do your list without repeating me.
I like that question. Carnage Silver Surfer.
Oh, there you go. Jason's got to come up with another figure.
Sakarian Iron Man.
Yeah.
Scarlet Witch.
Yeah. There's definitely more than 4 figures. Like,
yeah,
that you gotta be on the lookout for.
The second copy of Scarab on a team.
Yeah.
Tyrant. There's too many.
Yeah, I mean, you really don't have to like look out for Mephisto. Like, he's not ruining your day necessarily. He's just a powerhouse for the team that he's on.
He's a huge support figure, but he's not really damaging he's not attacking your team.
Right. He's definitely working behind the scene.
Yeah, he's enabling a lot.
Yeah. And I think the other thing is, like we were talking about, the presence of King Killmonger, changes how you build your team. So,
Yeah, if you're equipping all your figures right now, you're probably doing it wrong.
Right. Oh, you know what? Jaylen, I went back and looked at your history. Lucas's question is wrong. PJ was there when you won Indiana States.
He was there?
Yeah.
Now, when were you? What is it?
So Lucas's question, which was completely unnecessary. How is Jaylen only capable of winning if himself or PJ isn't there?
Hating.
Yeah, right?
Hating on me.
Right. So.
PJ was there.
Yep.
He might not have been playing, but he was there.
Yeah.
Every question says there.
Yep. So, yep. Sorry, you're wrong, Lucas. So.
And there was another event that I won at one of our regionals that we had during the COVID era. PJ was also there, and I did win that one.
Oh, he was playing too, wasn't he?
I believe so.
Yes,
sir.
So, yeah.
So Lucas, suck it.
There you go. Yeah.
I'm just kidding, buddy. Love you.
Yeah. So not only was your smack talk incorrect, it was not only your smack talk unneeded, it was incorrect, Lucas.
People always trying to bring me down. Just gotta shut the haters up, you know.
Right. The Prime thing is pretty funny, though.
It is. Yeah, funny.
It is.
I'm not mad whenever people say it. I embrace it. Okay.
Right. I mean, because you still got top 4 in that event with me.
I did.
So.
30 points down.
Yeah. Yeah. So. All right. Well. Man, I tell you what. If I get a slice of North Market pizza, some ribs, and some Rodizio grill again soon, I would be happy.
It won't be soon enough.
No. So, what? So Jaylen, how many more states do you have left to go? Where are you going next?
Let me just look at the list real quick. We are most likely going to Kentucky.
Right. Are you going to do the Kentucky, Indiana back to back Saturday, Sunday?
It's looking like it.
Yeah.
It is looking like it. And we haven't decided yet on going to Chicago. We haven't decided yet. And the 15th of July, which is Michigan, Bama, and West Virginia, all in those 3 days. Because I am going to be a counselor at a camp, and the last day is that Saturday. So if I would have to leave super early to go to Alabama. I would have to leave at like 4 or 5 in the morning to get home to go to Michigan or West Virginia. So me and Dad just need to decide on where we're gonna go so I can plan for that.
Right.
But yeah, most likely 3 more states.
Yeah. Yeah. Jason, you've had a few days since our massive energy expenditure. Are you going to do Kentucky and Indiana with me?
I think so.
Yeah. And then
You got to. I'm going, Jason. You got to. We got to play each other.
I gotta go beat Jaylen's ass somewhere.
Yeah. So I think also in a late addition for Sam and I think we're gonna go to Alabama the weekend of the 15th. So, yeah, there's just no other state that's close enough. I mean, the big thing with Illinois is it's the Sunday before the week of Gen Con.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a lot of travel in general, and it's like right at the edge of being able to travel there. Tennessee, Jason and I missed. Congrats to our teammate Zach Brazier for winning. So whatever. I guess West Virginia, that's too far because that's on that Saturday of Alabama. So Alabama would be closer. Missouri's the only other one that I've looked at going to, but it's also the weekend before Gen Con, and Springfield's like a solid 6 hours away. So That one's pretty far. And then Michigan's too far because it's like an 8-hour drive to get to Michigan from here.
And it's not even where Michigan usually is. It's in Grand Rapids, which is 5 hours from us.
Right. Yeah, I do have. I was hoping that I have some work travel planned for maybe later in the early fall or late summer, and I was like, Grand Rapids is on our list of places that we might go, and I was like, can we go there? Can we go there in July? So
preferably middle of July.
Yeah. So I'd have a reason to be up there, but this looks like that's not going to be working out. So, but other than that, I mean, it's been a great, exciting 2 weeks of states, and I look forward to all the other states that have come in. And congrats to all the other winners. Let's just move into some final thoughts today. Jason.
Well, I want some more. I want some more steak. That's what's on my mind right now.
Right. You want some more of that lamb, right?
I want some more of that lamb. That was some good stuff.
Come on up.
I would like to come back sooner rather than later. But yeah, I don't know. Be on the lookout for all that stuff we talked about. And good luck in your states events. I don't know. That's about all I got.
What you got for us, champ?
Lucas is a hater, first of all. Let's see. Oh, there's another thing that you guys, if you ever come up to Ohio for the North Market, there's a chicken place. Not just the steakhouse. The chicken place also up here in the North Market is by far my favorite place. Well,
the hot chicken place?
Yes. Hot chicken is the bomb up here. Up next to Rodizio, but Rodizio, however you say it.
Oh, the one that we walked by on the way to the place?
Yes.
Right.
It is so good. If you guys ever come back, or even if you live up here in Ohio and you haven't been to Columbus for just in general, go to the North Market, hot chicken. You won't regret it.
Right.
And yes, be on the lookout for everything that we talked about. It's the meta is crazy right now.
Right. It is. But yeah, I mean, I think I kind of covered my final thoughts ahead of time. You know, good luck to everybody in the rest of your states. Looking forward to that. Be sure to take up Sam's offer in the last episode if y'all want to see her do some more interviews with state winners. She's excited to step up and do a little bit of that with us to help kind of supplement and augment Jason and Alex and mine's time by recording some extra content for y'all. So be sure to let us know if you'd like to see her do some more of those interviews. And thanks everybody for listening to Clixed Off today. We'll talk to y'all next time.
Later.
Later.